So, you want to race in NASCAR. The road starts here. Introducing the eNASCAR Ignite Series powered by iRacing. This is the gateway for all aspiring 13 to 16-year-olds. Starting June 20th, ignite your dreams of one day racing in the top tiers of NASCAR. Go to www.iracing.com/ignite for full details.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Okayama Grand Prix of the DRL Winter Road Series. Eric Worthington here, bringing you the action live from Japan. First and foremost, we have to do issue an apology. iRacing delayed us just a little bit tonight. Little hangover with iRacing switching from week to week. So we're coming a little late, but the good news is you haven't missed any of the race. They are in the process of qualifying with 4 minutes remaining. So you haven't missed any of the race at all. As you can see, we're at the Okayama International Circuit in Japan. I'm not even going to try to pronounce exactly where in Japan it is at. But obviously we're getting ready for 30 laps with these Skippy Barbers. Takes them about... best times are probably going to be about 1 minute and 50 seconds around the speedway. Around the circuit, I should say. NASCAR talk with speedway. But about 1 minute 50 seconds to 2 minutes altogether. They will have to stop for fuel. But that's it. I don't see any tire changes happening here tonight. And as you can see, we got so far 10 drivers altogether that are in the field. Mike Lemon currently on the pole at a 148.3. Chris James in a very close second at a 148.4. And in third is Ryan Hesgaard with a 148.5. And actually Tater Bowman literally just took 4th place in a 148.6. And then Matthew DePriest is at a 148.6. And only one driver that has yet to take a lap, and that would be Mike Springer. Let's see if we could take a look if anyone's on the racetrack right now. Doesn't look like anyone is, actually. Yeah, it looks like everyone is in the garage. They've already taken a lap except for Springer, but I'm not sure if he's having a connection thing or not. But like I said, we do apologize about the late broadcast. We do seems a little quiet. Do apologize. Try to work on that as soon as I can hear something. Obviously, there's no cars on the track right now, so yes, it is definitely quiet right now. Oh, sounds like there's one car on the track somewhere. Trying to find the car that's on the track, so hang on one second. Not sure who that is, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure who that was. There was someone on the track, but for some reason we didn't get a hold of them. But there's only a minute left, and we're going to see all the cars on the track. Looks like we have 11 that's qualified. 12 are in the session. Like I said, Springer is the only one that has yet to put in a lap. Of course, now he is beyond the time of actually posting a lap. For running through the running order right quick, like I said, Mike Lemon currently on the pole. Chris James is currently second. Third is Ryan Hesgard. Fourth is Tater Bowman. Fifth is Matthew DePriest. Sixth is Steven Sims, the tongue twister. Seven is Matthew Clydesmith. Eighth is David Wright. Ninth is Raul Alvarez. 10th is Getty Buckner. And 11th is Bill Edwards. Getty being down in 10th, that's a bit of a surprise. Of course, unfortunately, we normally try to give the drivers at least a minimal of an hour of practice. Unfortunately, because the servers were messed up with the rollover from week to week, they unfortunately only got, I think, about 30 or 20 or 30 minutes. I'm not sure how long. I think it was 30 minutes altogether. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to have some practice right here tonight. We will see as they are getting ready to actually get on the racetrack. And we do have to say, I really do appreciate all of our fans out there for sticking it out with us. Obviously, we're trying to hurry up and get the broadcast going as soon as possible, and thankfully we did. And I'm actually glad to be back myself. Obviously, me and David broadcasted last week. Had a few weeks off. Took 1 week actually because I was out of town. And then the next week, of course, anytime that you go out of town, you get sick. I mean, I think that's kind of a common thing. I'm sure y'all didn't want to hear me sniffling and coughing through the broadcast, so I have to give a huge shout out to David Wellborn. Excuse me, I said David Wright a second ago. David Wellborn, I have to give a huge shout out for filling in for me. I think I missed 2 weeks altogether, so I greatly appreciate it. And of course, he came up in the broadcast booth with me last week. Sounds like we are ready to go racing. There they go, green flag. This track is so big, they look like they're moving so slow. Let's see. Lemon clearly is going to clear the 82 of Chris James. See how friendly they are with each other. Lemon is still leading the way. Chris James and Ryan Hesgard, Tater Bowman, all following in line. So far, so good. Everybody's playing nice. I have the sounds almost maxed out right now, so just bear with me for a second. I'm going to try to get it a little bit louder. Alright, I think what it is I have changed the setting from the last time I broadcast. As soon as we take our first commercial break, I'll be able to fix that. I don't want to do it right now because obviously we're seeing a pass for second place as Hesgard is passing James to the inside. Go back here and take a look. They're diving to the inside. Oh! Did Chris James just blow it? Chris James just blew an engine. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm not sure why that happened. That's crazy. Let's see if we can recapture that moment. And don't think I'll be able to. Yeah, unfortunately I think it's too far back now. Wow, that's crazy. Chris James, blown engine right off the bat. So he's probably done for the night. It is a 30-minute repair, but of course, is that really worth your time? Take a look right here. We're going to ride on board Matthew the Priest. Moved up one spot so far, following along behind Steven Sims. Looks like he's got a little bit of a run on him. Of course, Lemon is up front. Hesgard is right there in second. You see both of them off in the distance. And then the Priest is struggling. Boy, this turn right here is real tough. You just want so much grip, and it just doesn't exist for the longest time. And then you got Matthew Clatchmith right behind them. He's a little ways behind, unfortunately. And then Bill Edwards started 11th, already up to 6th place. Good job, Bill. And then we got David Wright and Getty Buckner side by side. Going into this tight hairpin right here. I unfortunately don't know the names of the turns. I have to apologize about that. It looks like David Wright's going to hold off Getty right now. And Getty's still looking though. And then, wow, Tater Bowman, something must have happened to him. He is way back. He actually was running, I think, 4th. He probably must have had an off track or something. Not sure. And like I said, everyone, I do apologize if the audio seems a little quiet. I will, when we take our first commercial break, I actually will will get that fixed ASAP. Can't do it right now, unfortunately, because we're in the middle of running. But as soon as I take a commercial break, obviously, we'll definitely look at that. Man, did I just see a pass up here? Oh, something happened to Sims. We missed it. Something happened to Steven Sims. He's got a little front end damage too. Not sure what happened there. But he was running up there with the Priest for 3rd. And now he's back, finds himself back here in 6th place behind Bill Edwards. So Clyde Smith and Edwards got around Steven Sims. We're already on lap 4 of 30. I mean, this race, even though it's scheduled to be a little less than an hour, it's going to go by super fast. Obviously, we're all used to hour-plus long races, so this one will go by pretty fast. Steven finally gets a good run on Edwards, and he is gone. This is a very fun track. I don't know if anyone is considering joining iRacing, or you're on the cusp of like, maybe, oh man, we got a battle back here. Let me actually go back here. But this is one of the free tracks that you get. This is one of the tracks that, oh, Tater getting a little sideways. This is one of the tracks that you get for free when you first sign up for the subscription. And this is a really fun track. I had never heard of it before iRacing, and I love this track now. Getty checks up a little bit. We got Bowman, Wright, and Buckner all racing together right here. I am keeping my eye at the front, but Lemon now has a 3.5-second lead, and then it's another 3.5 back to DePriest in third, and another 3 seconds back to Clyde Smith in fourth, and then another 2 seconds back to Steven Sims in fifth. So the top 5 are pretty much staying put. They're not really moving any. Obviously, in case y'all don't know, just a quick plug for our regular season, the DRL. Normal NASCAR season is actually right around the corner. Obviously, we're going to be having the Cup Series, Grand National Series, and the Truck Series all back in a couple weeks' time. We cannot wait to get that started. Obviously, I myself will be racing in the Truck Series. I know Getty Buckner, I think, is going to be racing in the Truck Series, and of course, I'm not sure about the other drivers. I do think, I think Hesgard has announced that he will be in the Grand National Series along with Matt Clyde-Smith. But the rest, I honestly have no clue, so I'm not going to say what they're racing in because I don't know. But yes, all 3 series are coming back, and we're excited. The races are a tiny bit longer, and there's obviously the Cup Series is 100% following the real NASCAR Cup Series, and we tried to do our best to emulate the Grand National and Truck Series, but we obviously wanted to add some more races on both of them, so we did. See Getty Buckner now looking to the inside of David Wright. Thought better of it, stepped back in line. At this point, David Wright would be wise just to let Getty go. We've got a lot of racing left, and honestly, Getty's going to get a little. He's going to get to the point where he's like, "All right, let's go. I got to get you out of the way." And these cars don't have fenders, so I don't know how that's going to work out between these two. See in the background, Raul Alvarez is hanging out back there. Can't forget about him, of course. There you saw Bill Edwards, Tater Bowman, and then both these guys, David Wright and Getty Buckner. Still keeping my eye up front. The only real battle that we have up front, actually, we will go up there real quick. This is the closest battle that we have. It's between Steven Sims and Matthew Clyde-Smith. Sims obviously just passed for the position. Moving on up. See another lap down as we're already on lap 7. This long racetrack here. I mean, they're still doing. They're actually every single driver on the track is actually at least at or under 1 minute 50 seconds. So obviously 2-minute laps will give us an hour-long race, and it's looking like we're definitely going to be under now for sure. This is one of our closest battles on the racetrack. Obviously, we do also have Getty Buckner and David Wright. This is actually probably our closest battle right here. This is, of course, for 8th and 9th. And Getty, it seems that he's getting a run almost every one of these long straightaways, which this track is nothing but long straightaways. If you had to compare this track to anything out there, I would have to compare it to Twin Ring Motegi, the big version of it, because it's nothing but very long straightaways attached to tight corners and hairpins. Obviously not as long as Twin Ring Motegi, because the Twin Ring, the full international circuit in a GT3 car takes about 2 minutes, and these Skippy Barbers can do this track in about 2 minutes. So obviously Twin Ring is much longer, but it kind of has the same idea. It looks like Tater Bowman and Bill Edwards has swapped positions. I still wonder what happened to Tater. Obviously, he was I think he was around 4th, I believe. He did start 4th, and I think he fell in line in 4th place. And next thing I know, he's way in the back. Oh, Bill Edwards, got to be careful with that. It looks like Tater will take the position away, but with the draft so strong, is he going to be fast enough to break the draft and get away? And you can see right here these long straightaways. Obviously these cars are not making very much of a draft. I mean, they're only getting up to give or take 120 or so mile an hour, maybe a little bit more than that. But they're obviously not generating much draft. But honestly, they're so closely competitive that even a couple mile an hour will make a big difference. See, they are now starting to look at Matt Clydesmith up ahead. And it looks like there's now a gap between Buckner and Wright, so I'm not sure. Let's see if we can go back and see if we can see what happened. Not sure why it keeps going to the pace car. Yeah, I'm not sure why it keeps going to the pace car like that, so I do apologize, but for some reason I'm not seeing any replays, and you can see Getty Buckner. Whoa, he's coming in hot, but he's gonna go ahead and take his pit stop. Go ahead and they're only gonna need like a couple gallons of fuel, so that's all they're gonna need. And honestly, Getty probably should have done this after a couple laps stuck behind Mr. Wright. He should have just went ahead and bit the bullet and came down and did this, so he didn't get held up anymore. But as of right now, Getty Buckner and Chris James are the only two that's pitted. Believe it or not, Chris James is on the racetrack. Obviously, these cars do get a fast repair, so even though Chris James blew his engine, he's still out there. They literally ripped the old engine out and put a new engine in less than 5 seconds, and he's gone and away again. Yeah, I'm sure he is not very happy right now because of the fact that he was looking so fast earlier. And this right here is our closest little section of cars. We got Steven Sims, Matthew Clydesmith, and Tater Bowman. Like ATVO is gonna start lagging on me a little bit there. That's what I wanted to see. Actually hop up here with Matt Clyde-Smith. Oh, if it will let me. Might be time for a commercial break actually, because I know the audio is a tiny bit off, but now my cameras are not working at all. There we go. See, I clicked on that like 30 seconds ago. Alright, let's watch this battle actually real quick before we go. This is Steven Sims in 4th and Matthew Clyde-Smith in 5th. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. The next closest one, of course, is Tater right behind these guys, and then Bill, who is about 2 seconds behind them. So this is pretty much the closest battle on the track. Hear the tires squealing. Oh, Clyde-Smith taking a very shallow line in and a wide out, and then Steven was doing the complete opposite. He was going very wide in and shallow out. It's very interesting to see these two different lines at work here. Clyde-Smith's going to lose a lot of time there. Back does Tater. Yep, Tater gets around him too. Alright, so I'm actually trying... Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe it's not so bad now. Yeah, let me go ahead and take a commercial break real super quick. I'm going to fix the audio real quick, make it a little bit louder. And then, of course, for some reason, ATVO is being very laggy. So just give me a few seconds and I'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, we are back. Appreciate your patience with me. I'm going to see if this audio is much better. I did have to make an adjustment within iRacing itself, so hopefully this is better. All right, looks like we're ready to go now. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. So, looks like we got David Wright in the pits. See here. Of course, our leader is still Mike Lemon, still running away with it here. Ryan Hesgard is in second. Matthew DePriest. David Wright is in the pits right now. Mike Lemon just seems to be running away with it at this point. Don't know how much longer he'll keep this up, but sitting there with almost a 6-second gap over Hesgard. See Hesgard hooking over the background there. That just tells you how slow these cars are going out. I'm pretty sure the 6 seconds is up to date. We'll find out in just a second, of course. Look at Lemon locking them up, using that to get a little grip coming out of the corner. He's had some very bad luck here lately, so I'm glad Mike Lemon is actually running real good. And I'm hoping he can get away with this one. Obviously, he's not quite halfway. He's almost there, but not quite. I'm hoping he can win this one. Looking pretty good this far. Of course, we all know Ryan Hesgard is not one to sleep on, and it makes you wonder if he's sleeping on the second place run right now. But if I know, oh no, he is. I think he's trying. Nearly lost it there coming out of the final corner. As of right now, I'm not sure what happened to David Wright, and I do apologize for not catching that, but something has happened to him. He is actually out of the race. He's decided to park it. So as of right now, I'll give you a quick rundown. We got Mike Lemon in first, Ryan Hesgard in second, Matthew DePriest in third, Tater Bowman in fourth, Steven Sims in fifth, Matt Clydesmith in sixth, Bill Edwards seventh, Chris James making a huge comeback now in eighth, Raul Alvarez in ninth, and Getty Buckner is in 10th. Those all are on the lead lap. And then you have David Wright and Mike Springer. Well, David Wright's out of the race, but Springer actually did not even start. So, and it looks like our timing and scoring is correct. It is a 6-second gap overall. And I apologize for the slow cameras. ATVO is being a little slow tonight for some reason. I do apologize. even a reset obviously didn't help it too much. So I hate to tell you, but looks like our closest battles are on the track are about 3 seconds apart from each other. So not a whole lot of close racing right now. Unfortunately, obviously, we would all like to see some great battles like last week. I don't know if y'all got a chance to catch last week's race, but last week was amazing. Oh, his Hesgard is in the pits now. Ryan Hesgard is sitting on pit road to get his fuel. Let's see how long he's on pit road, and we can compare it to Lemon, even though I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Lemon just rides it out as long as he can. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it lap 25. Hesgard wants to have a chance to win it. Yep, fuel only for him, only 10 seconds. So I think every one of these drivers has made the mistake at some point in this Winter Road Series. You don't need tires in these races. They're not long enough, and these are road tires. Obviously, they're not slicks. They're designed to last as long as possible. I like to think of these tires like, obviously here in America, we're really used to watching IndyCar racing and NASCAR. So both of those series are designed, Firestone and Goodyear designed the tires to last a certain amount of time. You know, in NASCAR, they want them to last anywhere, like at a 1.5 mile track, anywhere from 40 to 60 laps. And they're designed to where they go that long. They're not designed to go any further. That's the whole point of them. But unfortunately, in other series, specifically like IMSA and World Endurance Championship and a few others, they don't design the tires with that same mentality. They design the tires with the mentality of, we want these tires to last as long as possible. And for those of you that watched the 24 hours of Daytona this past week, you notice that they can go 2 hours straight on a set of tires for the IMSA race at Daytona. 2 hours. They'll come into after an hour of driving, they'll come in. They might do a driver change, but they'll fill it up with fuel. It takes about 40 seconds to a minute, and then they'll take off. And then the next time around, they'll obviously change all 4 tires and fill it up with fuel. So it's one thing that's a little different with these Skippy Bar versions. Looks like Tater Bowman's on pit road. We'll see what his pit stop time is. Obviously, Hesgard ran a 10.2. Pit road here is a little long because the speed limit is Clyde Smith is in pits too. The speed limit here is 37 miles an hour. And I know you're probably thinking 37, why, that's such a strange time. Well, the reason why is because it is technically 50 kilometers an hour. And you see Tater with an 11.2, so unfortunately it looks like he's going to lose at least a half a second, if not 3/4 of a second, to Hesgard. And Clyde Smith is going to be even longer. Oh no. Oh no, I hope Clyde Smith didn't take tires. Oh, that was a long pit stop for Clyde Smith. Yeah, your pit stops here should only be 10 to 12 seconds, so maybe he was working on some damage, I'm not sure. But Clyde Smith with a 17-second pit stop. I know the top 3 has not pitted. Other than that, I think everybody else has. I don't remember if Raul Alvarez has or not. But I think everybody else besides the top 3 has pitted. So Lemon, DePriest, and Sims are the only ones I know of that hasn't. And you see Raul Alvarez is getting ready to go a lap down here. And these gaps, obviously I know the gaps are going to shrink once the top 3 pit, but 16 seconds back to DePriest. Actually, we'll head back here where Sims is. There we go. The Hesgard is right behind him. Oh, Sims. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. What happened there? It's like, looked like he just straight locked it up. I would love to bring you a replay. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, it doesn't look like ATVO is going to work with me here. Yeah, I apologize, everybody. I mean, I know we want to see these replays, but ATVO is being very difficult tonight. I do apologize. I'm not sure what the issue is, because it's nothing on the computer side. Let me actually do a couple things real super quick, see if it helps. Okay, there we go. That's helping a little bit. Sorry I missed the replay. I do apologize, but nonetheless, looks like ATVO is running a little smoother now. I did some changes. Oh, looks like we got limit on pit road. 10-second pit stop. Let's see where he comes out. Let's see. Can we see him? Where is he? Limit's still on pit road. Looks like Lemon got out substantially ahead of Hesgard, actually. Yeah, he's a good ways up the road already. I promise you I'm trying to bring you some good action, but every time I click on something, it's taking over 30 seconds for it to actually take place, so I do apologize, everyone. One of the many reasons why we run these winter races, though, because obviously we want to make sure we get all these kinks worked out before our regular season. Nonetheless, we do oh no! Oh no, Lemon's way off track. And he kept it going, though. Looks like he's fine. Oh, wow. Great job, Mike Lemon, keeping it together. Getting ready to come up on the 20th lap of the race, and actually when we hit the 21st lap, unless if DePriest is in the pits. If DePriest is in the pits, then obviously we'll wait. But if we hit the 21st lap, I'm going to take another quick commercial break, see if I can refresh ATVO one more time to see if I can get it to work properly. If DePriest pits, we're going to wait one more lap, though. Looks like the gap between Lemon and Hesgard shrank about a half a second altogether. So, obviously Hesgard had a really fast pit, and of course it didn't help that Lemon just did some off-roading. That didn't help, of course. One thing that's got me kind of surprised tonight is Getty Buckner. I did expect, he's obviously after the show we saw from him last week, we had kind of expected him to show out again this week, but he just hasn't been here. I think it's just not enough practice time, maybe, not familiar enough with the track. It's got to be something to that extent. I'm not really sure. Believe it or not, Hesgard has actually brought the gap down just a tiny bit to Lemon. course, he's going to have to get on it for real, though, if he wants to catch him, because 9 to go. He's got to get moving on it. All right, with that being said, we did cross the 21st lap, and DePriest is still out. But I'm going to hurry up. I'm going to be super quick. Hopefully less than, if it's up to me, it'll be less than a minute. And hopefully we can see DePriest pit if he does this lap. So I'll be right back. All right, perfect timing actually, as Matthew DePriest is in the pits right now. That I couldn't have timed it any better than that. Oh, you might want some audio back. Okay. Perfect timing though, but unfortunately for Matthew DePriest, looks like Lemon is just going to cruise right by him though. And you see Mike Lemon and Hesgard and even Steven Sims in the background all flying by. I think Steven Sims, I could be wrong, but I think he's the only one that hadn't pitted yet. DePriest is still on pit road, 11.2 seconds. That's about normal. I think the person that really got hurt really from the pit stop more than anybody else was Tater Bowman's. I think he lost 2 spots due to the pits. Man, I have to hand it to these guys. Obviously, I do know this track a little bit. I'm not super familiar with it, but especially Mike Lemon, Ryan Hesgard, Steven Sims, boy, they've been putting down some great laps all night long. Hesgard just put down a 1:46.9, actually. You can't tell me he ain't on it. He's got the gap down to 5 seconds, so he's chopped off another half a second. I think it's too little too late at this point, because even if he chops off a half a second every lap, I don't think he's going to get there, because obviously catching and passing are 2 different things. I'm sure Mike Lemon wants this win so bad. Oh no, Hesgard spins out in the background. I apologize, ATVO is messing up on me again here. I'm glad we caught that when we did, because ATVO is just messing up on me. So I do apologize, but yeah, we saw it here first. Hesgard spun out in the background. If we can catch it. Nope, we want Hesgard. Yeah, it looks like we'll be able to catch it here. Good job. Alright, we're right on board. Let's see what happens here. Obviously, this little kink right here does that right. Curb to curb. Oh man, he was sideways from the get-go. Wasn't much he could have done about it, obviously. He was sideways from the beginning. So Steven Sims is actually now past him. But we actually got to keep our eye on this battle right now, because Steven will say on a side note, me, Steven Sims, and Nathaniel Pollard, the three of us are actually going to be racing a DRL endurance race, or representing DRL, I should say, in an endurance race, the 12 hours of Bathurst. We're going to try to get that live streamed. It's going to be Saturday morning, February the 9th. And you can see Hesgard making some very quick work on Sims there. I think Sims was probably thinking he was going to try to get the over-under on him. See, DePriest is not too far behind back there. One of these guys makes a mistake, he will be there to take the position for sure. But yes, if you can tune in February 9th, I think we're gonna probably start live streaming at like 9, I believe, because I don't think the race starts till 9. But it'll be either 8 or 9 Eastern time. The three of us will be racing the 12 hours of Bathurst, representing Team DRL. Our team name is the DRL Endurance Team. So hopefully you come and join us for that. I don't know if it will be streamed here or on my personal channel, but we're going to try to talk to JP and get it streamed live right here. Won't be camera angles if we do, unless we can get someone to stream for us the whole time, but I don't know if someone wants to commit to 12 hours of live streaming. I know I will definitely be live streaming myself, so. And I told you, it won't take this long. This race goes by pretty quick. Obviously, we got about 5 and so laps remaining. This is really the only battle on the track. We got Matt Klatchmith and Chris James battling also. Go back here and take a look in just a second. There we go. And again, I do apologize. I know the iRacing servers are kind of all over the place. I hope the audio quality and the visual quality is good enough to make up for it. But I'm not sure if it's my computer or ATVO. But anytime I click on a different camera, it takes anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds to actually happen. So I do appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate everyone's patience for tonight. Obviously, we got a late start, but we got it in. That's the important thing. We're here and we're racing. It looks like Steven Sims is trying to make a fight back to Hesgard as we have officially come down to 5 to go. And DePriest is, he's still right there. He hasn't gave up yet. Getting ready to get 4 to go here. Oh, hang on to it, Steven. These cars will hang on get one tire in the dirt and you gun it, you may go for a ride. Unfortunately, this is the closest battle of the race right here. Our leader is Mike Lemon. You can see that. Look at that. Hesgard, Steven Sims, lap car of Raul Alvarez, and Matthew DePriest all right here. This is the closest battle on the track. This is for second, third, and fourth. Mike Lemon he's just in a different time zone right now. He's obviously 15 seconds up. And I just heard damage from someone. And unfortunately oh man, I'm not sure who that was or. Come on. Oh, that must have been Raul. Oh man, yeah, he's trying to limp it back. Let's find out what happened here. We're going to see if we can ride on board. Come on, ATVO. Well, we just heard it again, but unfortunately ATVO is not cooperating. Alright, so let's see if we can go back just a little bit more so we can... Yeah, I do apologize, everyone. I'm trying to see if we can get a view of this, but it's not working for me, unfortunately. Let's see. We're live right now. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me go back just a little further. Alright. I do apologize about that being messy looking. But let's see. I wanted to see this, so let's find out what happened. Coming out of turn 1. Going into turn... Oh, he just did not turn for turn 2 at all. And just straight into the wall. Oh, somebody came real close to him. I bet that was Tater. Oh, Tater. Woo. Watch out, Tater. Let's see what Mr. DePriest saw on that. I'm sure he got freaked out by it. He was just like, oh, okay, what's happening here? What's happening here? Oh no. That was very close, but thankfully no damage there. Alright, we are back live now. Everyone is separated by at least 2 seconds. This is actually the closest battle. So, unfortunately, DePriest is a little less than 2.5 seconds behind Steven Sims. The third and fourth. Off to these guys. They did a fantastic job keeping these cars in order. And I'm sitting here watching DePriest. I'm glad I picked this this battle right here, I guess you could call it, because the Reese looks like he is closing in. Oh man, he is pushing those little tires to the limit. His limit is getting ready to give us the white flag already. There it is, Mike Lemon crosses the line with 1 to go. We're going to keep watching this battle until we get close to the end again here, because this is the one battle. Actually, you know what? Let's give Mike Lemon, we haven't watched much of Mike Lemon, so let's give him his victory lap. And we're probably going to miss half of it because ATVO is being slow again. I don't understand why ATVO does this. There we go. Because it will work perfectly fine one instant, and then the next it just wants to lag. As Bill Edwards is in the pit. Oh no. He must be a little short on fuel. Oh man, that's devastating for him. Yeah, he's losing 2 spots. 3 spots. I mean, he just lost 3 spots right there. Of course, Alvarez won't catch him because Alvarez is a lap behind him. But man, he lost 3 spots right there at the end. That stinks. Mike Lemon, though, big win from him. So fantastic job from Mike Lemon as he's coming around the final corners. And on to the front stretch. Hats off to Mike Lemon, boy. I mean, great job from him. Fantastic racing. I'm sure he's got a monkey on his shoulder has just left, because he has had some of the worst luck. So congratulations to Mike Lemon for coming home and winning this thing. And then we got Ryan Hesgard coming home in second. And then to finish out our podium, it looks like it will be Steven Sims. So congratulations to these guys. Fantastic job. We're actually going to go ahead real quick and grab Steven Sims. I know he's in the middle of his victory lap, I guess you could say. But we're going to go ahead and grab him real quick. Well, it looks like Steven Sims is either not in Discord or he's already left. So it looks like we will have to skip on Steven. That's okay. We will grab Mr. Hesgard for finishing second, actually, then. Hey, Ryan Hesgard, this is Eric Weatherholtz up at the DRL TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Eric, go ahead.
So that was kind of a little bit of a slow, drawn-out race for you, I guess. I know there for a little while you were up there with Lemon, but yeah, I saw you had 1 spin in the final turn, and after that it looked like you were just trying your best to reel them in, and it just wasn't enough. Tell us about your night.
I don't know. Lemon and I were pretty equal the whole race, actually. Just that initial battle there, sorting it out, you know, got him a 3-4 second gap, and we kind of maintained it. You know, I would have a good lap, and then I would mess up, and he'd mess up, and I'd have a good lap. So we were fairly, you know, close. So I would have liked to have been up there, but yeah, just after the pit stop, I looped it. I was just being pretty aggressive there, so it's all right. P2's okay with me, especially for these cars. I really don't like these things, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would be more than happy with a podium period in these things. Yeah, one thing I noticed when y'all were racing is I was sitting there telling myself I was watching the pits because you actually gained probably about a half a second on them, and I thought you were gonna have something for them, and I think you were actually. I think you did have a little. You seemed to be a little more consistent. It just unfortunately that when you looped it in the last turn, it just kind of killed it for you. There just wasn't enough time left.
Yeah, that was just me. You know, I had to do something, and then the only something to do was be aggressive. So that's what I did, and it bit me. So, oh well, you know, we'll go into Daytona next week and hopefully get a good finish there, and then be ready to kick off the race.
Yeah, have you made an announcement on what series that you're for sure running?
Yeah, I'm gonna run in the Grand National Series one more year, depending on how that goes.
Y'all all heard it here. Hesgard is in the Grand National Series.
Yeah, I'd like to run Grand National one more time. Not closing out that championship last year. That's, you know, left a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm doing everything I can this year to get it. So if we get it, we're moving up. If not, well, maybe we're not ready. You know.
Yeah, I feel the same way with me in the trucks because me being eliminated from the Final Four, I was just like, no, I still have something there to prove. I'm going back to the trucks.
Yeah, I felt like we left a little bit on the table, so one more year, you know, it's going to help everybody improve in S2R and myself included. Hopefully, we added some pretty good talent this year to our team. So with their, you know, with their insight, I think the sky's the limit for a lot of us. So hopefully we can use their talent and their abilities to our benefit and move on up like we are planning.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and let you get your shout outs out. That way I can let you go.
All right. Yeah, big thanks to DRL as a whole. All the series they put on is fun, week in and week out. It's a lot of effort, so big thank you to the whole crew. And as always, big thanks to the S2R guys. Without them, we're not racing. You know, we're drifting by the wind, playing by ourselves. So it's a lot more fun when you got a group of guys and a group of friends that you can get on here every night with and practice and play all sorts of other games. And, you know, without them, I wouldn't even be here. So big thank you to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely, 10-4. I'm with you on that. That's one thing I love about iRacing is it's just a big happy family that we just, you know, don't have the money to do real racing. So.
Yep, exactly.
All right, Mr. Hesgard, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. You have a great night.
Sure.
All right, that was Ryan Hesgard, obviously coming home in second place. Now we actually do have Steven Sims. He actually popped in.
Yeah.
Mr. Sims, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on your third place finish. Obviously, we saw your name go up and down quite a bit. I know there for a little while you were battling with Ryan. I think you battled with DePriest at one point, Tater at one point. So I think you had a battle with pretty much everyone on the track. Tell us about your night.
Well, I had an incident early, got into the back. I forgot who it was on lap 2, and then got ran over again. About a lap later, it sent me back a little bit, and I realized I'm not going to even finish top 5 on overall speed, so you might as well just try an alternate strategy. So I started saving fuel, ended up saving a pit stop, which helped me get a top 3.
Yeah, I have the same mentality all the time. I'm typically not the guy that's going to be able to put down one fast lap, but if you want, 10 to 20 consistent laps, I can do it for you. I just don't want someone in front of me slowing me down the whole time. So I'm with you on that. I would have definitely pitted early, thrown my strategy off just to get away from everybody.
Yeah, I didn't pit at all.
Oh, really? I was thinking that whole time, so I didn't know for sure during the broadcast, but I said I think the only person that hadn't pitted is Steven. So, wow, good job stretching the fuel.
Yeah, I ran out in turn 1, had to get a push back to the start-finish line.
Wow, great job then. Holy crap, that's awesome. I mean, they set these cars up on 80% fuel for you to save that much. I mean, I thought someone could do it last week, but no one did, but you definitely did this week. So, fantastic job. And on a side note, before I let you get your shout outs in, obviously Steven, me, and Nate Pollard are actually running a DRL endurance team for the Bathurst 12 Hours, and I'm gonna see about talking to JP about us having it broadcasted while we're running. So, but before I let you go though, Steven, obviously I'm gonna let you get your shout outs in.
Shout out to you, all the broadcasters, and all the admins that let us do what we get to do every week. It's a lot better than official races.
I have to agree with you 100%. All right, that was our third place finisher, Steven Sims. So congrats to Steven. And of course, we're going to get our winner tonight, Mr. Mike Lemon. Mike, do you have a copy?
Yep.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations, because you finally was not only finished a race without a wreck, but you were able to get the win. First and foremost, speak about that, so I know you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It's hard not to get freaked out with Ryan behind you and watching the relative, because every lap I'm paying attention. I actually turned it off because I knew I had the speed, so I turned it off so I wouldn't kind of sabotage myself. But yeah, this place I don't know, I just seem to get. So I just wanted to rely on that. I can't believe Steven didn't pit. That's crazy.
Yeah, the whole broadcast, I was sitting there telling myself, I was like, I don't know if he has or not. I'm not. I don't think he has. So for him to stretch it was fantastic.
Yeah, because I have thought about trying that strategy before, and then last week I took tires, and that just killed me. So this week I knew I had speed, so I'm I'm just gonna do what Ryan does and hopefully stay ahead of him.
Yeah, when you have speed, as long as you do what like the next fastest guy does, you're normally doing pretty good. You'll actually end up shooting yourself in the foot sometimes if you're the fastest guy or one of the fastest guys, and end up trying an alternate strategy like Steven does or Steven did. Trust me, I did it many times last year in our regular season. Where I'm like, let me do something different, and then I end up shooting myself in the foot, and I could have just relied on speed.
Yeah, that's it. But I don't have many opportunities to be the guy with speed, so I had to not freak myself out there.
Well, if it helps you at all, if it helps you sleep good tonight, you were actually holding your distance on him for the most part until you pitted, and then after you pitted and he unfortunately had a little spin in the final turn, you were actually opening the gap by just a tiny bit, not by much, but nonetheless, it was enough. I'm sure that I'm sure the last few laps were at least comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, I really wasn't too worried. I knew if I just kept to myself, I'd probably be okay. Because I've had this is probably my favorite track. I've had wins in Mazda and the Cadillac a lot, so I knew I had to just adapt to this, and I knew the track, so I just kind of relied on that.
10-4. Well, before I let you go, obviously I'm going to let you get your shout outs in. I know you had probably several weeks worth of shout outs built up, and I'm sure you're glad that you finally got this monkey off your back. So go ahead and get all the shout outs you need out.
Just really my shoutouts are the league and you guys. It's a lot of fun, even though it's frustrating at times. But running the regulars is, man, it's a lot of fun. Like in this series, and I hope Getty actually gets this built up, because this is a lot of.
10-4. Well, Mike, I appreciate it. Congratulations yet again. Awesome racing, and you have a great night.
Thanks a lot.
All right, that was our winner, Mr. Mike Lemon. Obviously, he was speaking about Getty Buckner there for a second, and Getty obviously is the guy that put this on. He had an idea of it as the regular season went on, and he's the one that actually decided to put this together after the interest of the IndyCar series that we had last year. Obviously, we did have anywhere from 5 to 10 guys that were still interested in racing some road stuff, and you got to tip your hat to Mr. Buckner because he's the one that put it all together. So, Obviously, this was the Okayama Grand Prix here, and we're actually going to run through the unofficial results. Obviously, Mike Lemon coming home leading 27 laps. I think the only 3 laps he didn't lead was because he was on pit road at the time. Finishing on almost 15 seconds up on Ryan Hesgard. Steven Sims and Matthew DePriest battling out there at the end for the final step of the podium. So great job, both of those guys, 3rd and 4th. Tater Bowman, even though after that long pit stop he had, he was able to come home in 5th. Same thing with Chris James. Chris James actually blew his engine on the very first lap of the race and was still able to come home in 6th on the lead lap at that. So great job from Chris James. Matt Clatchmith comes home 7th. Getty Buckner 8th. Bill Edwards 9th. Raul Alvarez coming home in 10th. And then, of course, we have David Wright and Mike Springer. We just have it on here as Mike, but that is Mike Springer's name. Mike Springer did not start the race, but he was in the session when we started. So, and I'm not sure what happened to David Wright. He had some sort of incident at some point in the race. Obviously, the big race is actually coming up next week. This is the one that everyone's looking forward to, I believe. It's the Daytona Road Race, presented by the DRL. I'm actually looking forward to this. This is going to be a fun race. 35 laps at the Daytona racetrack. I can't wait. This is actually the moto version, if I'm not mistaken, which is the same as the 24-hour track. It's just a tiny bit shorter. I think the west loop, or the west horseshoe, is cut out, if I'm not mistaken. But you go through the international horseshoe, and then you cut back right back onto the normal NASCAR track. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, next week. Monday, same time. Hopefully, the servers is working just fine tomorrow, so we don't have to bring it to you late. Obviously, our next broadcast, we are going to be broadcasting 2 more nights this week, Tuesday night and Wednesday night for the Kentucky 100, the DRL Winter Oval Series. We have the A split Tuesday night at 9:30 and the B split at Wednesday night at 9:30. Both of them at Kentucky 100 laps. I personally can't wait. I actually have not turned very many laps at Kentucky. I will be racing Wednesday night. And just like last week at Iowa, I really don't know what I'm doing there. I'm just going to go there and turn some laps because I haven't ran it very much. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the race. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, we're going to take a look at the whole team that makes this all happen. Obviously, first and foremost, to James Pandolf and Tater Bowman. They're the two that keeps this thing going. Tater obviously doing all the finances and getting the sponsorship and all that fun stuff. The graphics and the technical stuff, obviously that's all Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez. So great job for those guys. All these graphics and everything that you see coming up on the screen, the cameras, is all of them too. Tater Bowman also takes care of our marketing. So he's the one that tries to get more drivers in this. The broadcast team, David Wellborn Jr., Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, Ryan Brantz, Jason Taylor, James Pandolf, and of course myself is on there, Eric Weatherholtz. The administration team is Taylor Bowman, David Wellborn Jr., Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, and James Pandolf. I don't know how 100% set these are, but as of right now, our admin and race control for the DRL Cup Series is Tater Bowman. Our admin and race control for the DRL Grand National Series is Martin Wenzel. Our admin and race control for the Winona Road Truck Series is Getty Buckner. And of course, the admin for the DRL Pro Series is James Pandolf. And I am Eric Weatherholtz, the race control. Admin and race control for tonight, I believe it was Getty Buckner, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, for the DRL Oval Series, I believe, I'm not sure who Tuesday night is. I think it goes back between James Pandolf, Getty Buckner, and Martin Wenzel, if I'm not mistaken. And then on Wednesday nights, it is actually Jeremy Hebel. So big shout out to all these guys that keeps this thing going. Of course, a huge shout out to all the drivers. They're the ones that obviously, if they weren't here, we wouldn't have anyone watching. And a huge shout out, of course, to the viewers out there. Because honestly, if y'all weren't watching this, we wouldn't be doing it in the first place. So, Well, that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Obviously, I can't apologize enough to you about the late start and for the difficulties that we had with the cameras. I do appreciate it. Obviously, join us tomorrow night for 100 laps of Kentucky. Y'all have a great night.